Hey guys, hope everyone is doing well in whatever stage of coronavirus lockdown you might be in at the moment. Hope everyone's keeping head above water and staying safe and healthy. I normally do these kind of weigh-in videos at the end of every year, but I didn't really feel like it at the end of last year because I'd made a bit of a decision to kind of park the gold recovery for a while and kind of focus on some other projects that I had going. And I've come to the point where I have to sell an ounce or so of what I've actually collected. So I thought, oh well, now might be as good a time as any to do a bit of a final weigh-in for the time being. So I've kind of temporarily still stopped refining, and I'm working on some other things. But yeah, I thought let's have a go. The other reason I thought it might be worth actually doing a final weigh-in is about half of the comments I get on YouTube seem to always be, oh dear, I can't believe you've done all that work for $25 or something along those lines. And then generally I have a little bit of a giggle inside because actually when I did all that work it was probably only for $15, not for $25. But I think many people don't really, they can't really grasp that not everything has to be financially measured. Some things are just fun and interesting to do. Also, I guess that's coming from a lot of people who have recently become interested in this kind of hobby slash money-making venture for them, with the gold price going up, also I guess based on the coronavirus and stuff like that. So I am seeing that particular message quite a lot lately. And I guess I can use this as an example video for those people to say, well, yes, every little bit you do might only be a little bit, but if you actually accumulate it over the space of a couple of years, it can actually be a decent amount. Now, having said all that, for all my efforts in terms of kind of hobby e-waste recovery for the last, I'd say 3 years, so it was 2017, 2018 and 2019, although I don't think 2017 was a full year. You can probably look at my first videos and figure that out. But all of that gold can kind of be very comfortably held in your hand, and I've got almost everything that I've made over the time still here. I think it's about 10 grams or so that I'd on-sold at one point. But yeah, so it doesn't actually look like very much. But let's have a look and see what it actually ends up. I can't actually honestly remember exactly how much this is, so this will be a good chance to look anyway. Now, I seem to recall at the end of 2018, I was at about 175 grams. And I remember thinking that I needed 75 to get to a quarter of a kilogram or something like that. So we'll see. I'm fairly sure I got way over that, but we'll just have a look. I'll turn the scale on in a moment. I'll just kind of show you what's happening in here. So this was the original 2017 container. This one here, it's a bit worn off, but that's the 2019 container, so we'll look at that. And then in here, oops, there's another bag which I am guessing is the 2018 container. So 2018 was obviously not a particularly busy year looking at that. So let's get the scale on. I'm just using the kitchen scale today because fractions of a gram aren't going to make any difference to what I'm kind of figuring out here. No, that's ideal. Okay, 0. So for 2017, the first year I got started, that was 115 grams. Let me just make a quick note here. 115, and I guess I could just do this. The scale should be able to deal with that. So that was 2017. So 2018, I think with this added, it came to about 175 from memory. So let's see now. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So that's roughly 175. So that's how I remembered it. And then 2019 was a particularly good year. I got hold of some very good quality e-waste. I should point out that probably 90% of this is from e-waste. There's a little bit of kind of refined jewelry, but I found buying jewelry on eBay and then refining it just wasn't worth it. People were paying much more than the actual gold value of the jewelry, of the scrap jewelry, on websites like that. So I never really got into that very much. E-waste always had a reasonably steady supply, just from friends and acquaintances. and I was always willing to pay kind of like half of what I expected the gold value of it will be. Generally, I got it cheaper than that if I wasn't buying from kind of friends, but if I was giving friends some money for it, I always tried to give them a reasonably fair amount. So based on the amount of effort it takes. Oh, there it goes. I'm kind of happy to put in. I'm quite happy to put in about half of the value for them. So let's just, sorry about that, just start this over. So we might as well weigh 2019 on its own and then just add everything else and see what the total is. So 2019, as I said, it's a very good year. Some very nice, you can kind of see the crystallization and the pipes in there. So good quality gold. I'm very happy with that. So oops, let's see. 2019 by itself, so I was aiming for 75, and that looks like 182, which is kind of fantastic. So let's say 182, 183, and that means altogether over the course of like 3 years of just kind of hobby evenings as well and weekends and stuff like that, looks to be about 356 grams of gold. So that is, I think it's about 11 ounces. Just do some quick maths on the computer in the background. 356 grams to troy ounces. See what that works out to be. That is 11.44 troy ounces, and I think in US dollars, that means 11.44 multiplied, I think it's about 1700 US dollars an ounce today, which is really good compared to when I was actually doing the work. So that's about 20,000 US dollars worth of gold, which is just kind of incredible that you can hold that kind of value just in the palm of your hand so easily. So yeah, I guess that's my answer to kind of people looking at this, considering this as a hobby. Yes, you can make a bit of gold. No, it is probably still better to just deliver pizzas or something. I think you would actually, for the same time, and especially having to learn, you'd probably make more money doing something that just pays a little bit rather than actually going down this route. And safety is always an issue. Oops, there goes one of the dogs. Sorry, safety is always an issue. Like one of the concerns that I eventually had, kind of looking at what some people that I was conversing with was doing, was just that they'd be doing dangerous stuff. You know, I always tried to show things as safely as possible, and I always tried to do things as safely as possible. But still a bit concerned overall that not everyone might be following the same safety kind of considerations as well as environmental considerations for the waste and stuff like that. But yeah, there we go. It's a really good hobby so far. I've kind of just temporarily packed up, so I might eventually get into it again. It's not all gone. It's just temporarily packed up. But yeah, good to be back. Hope to hear a bit from you guys, and obviously, as you will have noticed, if anyone has any questions on any of my videos, feel free to ask. I'm always keeping an eye on YouTube, and I'm always answering comments and questions and so forth. So, yeah, good stuff. See you guys later.